some of you guys missed our outreach leader meeting today, and I totally understand you have other obligations or couldn't get away from work, but we wanted to shoot this video, kind of give you a recap of what we talked about, because there are some action steps within that conversation that we had. So first off, we really talked about the wins and maybe some of the opportunities that we had from our first Saturday Serve last weekend. The biggest win was we had 165 people that jumped in, and basically a 3-generation gap from kids all the way up to some of our older adults, which is really, really cool. I do have a letter that I'm going to send out to all of you here soon. We got this in from one of our elderly people from our church that got one of those little joy jars. It's so cool. It actually brought tears to my eyes, but oh God, we're recording this, aren't we? Okay, anyway, so here's some action steps from the first Saturday Serve. So if you were an outreach leader, there's a couple of things we want to make sure that we're doing as leaders. Rebecca, what are those?
To make sure you're connecting with people who came to your outreach, follow up with them to make sure they're in community, in small group, that they're taking next steps in their walk, in their serve. Have they gone through Next Move?
Yes.
Are they serving at church? Just making sure that they're not walking life alone.
Yeah, so outreach is really just the excuse for life-on-life discipleship. And, a lot of times we're out there, we're meeting new people, you're having conversations, and there's some things maybe in past life experiences, right, Jody, that you're connecting with people on. And this is, again, our excuse for life-on-life discipleship.
Because people aren't going to necessarily open up in the middle of the serve.
No.
But when you follow back up with them,
absolutely,
that's when they're going to know that you really care.
Absolutely. Yep.
And looking forward to future opportunities.
Yeah.
So Claremore, we have our serve on the 15th. And so we will be at the Rogers County Farmers Market, and we need support for that. You can just stop by, bring snack items or cards, small tokens of appreciation. We're going to be taking those to the seniors, citizens, and to service Rogers County, and also first responders, healthcare workers. So we would love to see you there.
Absolutely. So again, we're continuing to fill out the portal with all our different outreaches and the opportunities where we're just trying to give our people a place to kind of get plugged into community. And because of the community, we're actually starting small groups. I know you've probably heard of that from this past weekend's message. We are looking for real Jesus small group leaders. So if God's put that out in your heart, get with Afaya. He'll walk you through that process. But make sure that you're plugged into a small group. As outreach leaders and leadership within our church, I want everybody to be part of a small group in some fashion. It can be an outreach small group. It doesn't matter. Just be part of one, okay? So that actually brings us to our next point. So Rebecca, what is that?
We about covered it all.
Did we? Okay. Here's one thing that we did talk about. We did talk about how we kind of plan for the future with outreach. What does that look like? Some of the maybe targeted areas that we want to focus on, like, human trafficking, foster care, adoption, and all of those things. So there will be more information coming out on that. But make sure that as you are having conversations with people in general, that we're being very specific on next steps, right? And how are we putting them in a position to where they can go and connect with people in our community, just to be very relational. And outreach is just the opportunity, right?
Possibly raising up other leaders. So maybe we start with the serve, but somebody else is able to carry the torch after us.
Absolutely. And that's really what I want as outreach leaders. I don't want you guys doing the work. I want you finding those who are gifted to do that. But what you're doing is you're identifying next steps for everybody that you're serving with you. Okay. And actually you're serving them. Now, how do you reach back out to them? You log back into your portal, and you can go to your previous outreach, and you can basically send a message to the participants, which is pretty cool. And so great functionality on that. You can't send pictures through that. However, we do have COTM, write this down, COTM.smugmug.com. That is basically our photo repository, if you will, of everything First Saturday Serve, and there's some pictures from the older outreach stuff. You don't need to
If
worry
we
about.
have pictures, can we get those put on there?
Yes. So if you have pictures, I would say send them to Jessica. You're going to hate me. Send them to Jessica Blackburn. She will get them uploaded into the Smug mug, and and that way you can capture all those pictures. You can send it to your people. You can point them to it. So anyway, good stuff. What else we got? Anything?
I think that was about it. Stay encouraged, people. Stay in the Word.
Yep. Stay encouraged. Stay
Don't
in the
live
Word.
life alone.
That's right. So anyway, we miss you guys. Love you. See ya.
Be well, friends.
Okay.